The Hobart Model 2712 slicer is designed for easy, accurate, and consistent manual or automatic slicing, and for years of reliable use. This videotape is to show you how to operate and take care of it for best results. For further information, refer to the instruction manual. Additional or replacement manuals are available from your local Hobart office. Before using the slicer, all safety devices must be in their proper positions. The top knife cover must be in position and locked with the latch knob snugly turned to the right. When slicing short ends of a product, the meat grip must be used to keep your hands away from the rotating knife and to hold the product in place for obtaining maximum yields. When the slicer is not in use, return the carriage to home position and turn the index knob clockwise below the 0 setting. The gauge plate will cover the knife edge. And of course, always unplug the slicer before you move, clean, or service it. The slicer has a 3-prong grounding plug and must be connected to a properly grounded outlet. If you're installing a new slicer, be sure to save all the original packing materials. You'll need them to properly protect the slicer if you ever have to ship it. Before using a new slicer, it is necessary to clean and sanitize it. This requires some easy disassembly and reassembly and is covered later in the cleaning section of this tape. To prepare for slicing, make sure the slicer is clean and that the gauge plate is closed, index knob turned clockwise, and pull the carriage all the way toward you until it reaches its stop. Put the product you are going to slice on the carriage tray. Adjust the fence by loosening the thumb screw, sliding the fence close to the product, and retightening the screw. Then set the meat grip against the new product. Make sure the lever is in the manual position down before starting the slicer. Start it by pulling the switch knob forward. If you don't need to use the meat grip, you can store it out of the way by sliding it to the top of its travel, rotating it under the carriage tray, and letting it rest in the retaining clip. Turn the index knob to set the slice thickness you want. The numbers on the knob do not indicate actual measurements, but are simply reference numbers for duplicating slice thicknesses. With the thickness set, use the carriage tray handle to push the carriage system back and forth to slice the product, crossing the entire width of the product over the knife to ensure full slices. The Model 2712 slicer provides automatic slicing with 2 adjustable speeds. To slice in automatic mode, make sure the lever is set to manual position, pull the carriage system home, start the slicer, and rotate the lever up to automatic position to start the carriage drive. Automatic mode can be begun in either of the 2 speed selections, and the speed can be changed at any time. To stop the carriage drive for manual operation, turn the lever to manual position, down and to the left. To turn the slicer off, simply push the on-off switch knob. Push the reset button beneath the slicer near the right front foot if the carriage motor should overload. Before cleaning, pull the carriage system all the way to the front home position. Unplug the power cord and turn the index knob fully clockwise to close the gauge plate. Unscrew the knob on the carriage system arm assembly and tilt the assembly to the right until it is almost horizontal. Wipe the surfaces of the machine with a clean cloth soaked in mild detergent and warm water. You can clean the carriage system in the tilted position, or you can remove it from the slicer for thorough sink cleaning. To remove the fence for cleaning, slide towards the handle and turn outward. The 3 digits on the carriage system arm key are the same as the last 3 digits of the slicer serial number, so you can make sure the carriage tray is replaced on the right unit. Please note that it is easier to remove the top knife cover with the carriage system and support arm assembly tilted back. Take off the top knife cover by turning the latch knob counterclockwise and lifting the cover from the guide pins. Remove the deflector from its mounting below the slicer knife by pulling it downward. Clean the top knife cover and deflector in a sink using warm soapy water. Rinse with clean water. Take off the sharpener by pushing the lock lever to the left. Then lift the right side of the sharpener up to free it from its guide pin. Continue lifting the sharpener off, clearing the left guide pin. Wipe out the inside of the sharpener housing and clean the sharpener in a sink. Rinse it with fresh water. The Hobart sharpening system is submersible and scrubbable for supporting thorough cleaning procedures. Clean completely around the ring guard by working a moistened paper towel between the ring guard and knife. Enter the towel at the base of the ring guard using the small corner section of the towel. The excess of the towel should be on top of the ring guard. Walk the knife around and the towel will rotate accordingly, cleaning the ring guard. Wash and rinse both sides of the knife by wiping outward from the center. Use a mild detergent or sanitizer solution only. Never clean any part of the slicer with steel pads. Replace the clean sharpener on the mounting bracket by lining up the 2 pins as shown. The left back position pin first, then drop over the right front pin position. Slide the lock lever to the right to lock the sharpener in position. Make sure it is seated on the pins in the bracket. Then put the top knife cover back in place by positioning it with the 3 guide pins. Turn the latch knob to the left while lowering the top knife cover. Then release the knob and turn it to the right until it's snug. Replace the deflector below the slicer knife by guiding the bottom of the socket onto the mount and rotating it upward. To reinstall the carriage tray support arm assembly, lower it so the key at the bottom of the support arm fits into the carriage pivot. Then tilt the carriage system and support arm assembly to the left to position it next to the gauge plate. Turn the knob on the carriage tray support arm clockwise until completely snug. To clean underneath the Model 2712 slicer, raise the lift lever past center to its stop. After cleaning, slowly retract it to lower the slicer. Do not wash any slicer components in a dishwasher or immerse the slicer base or motor in water. To sharpen the knife, turn the index knob counterclockwise to close the gauge plate. Unplug the power cord. Remove the top knife cover by turning the latch knob counterclockwise and lifting the cover. Thoroughly wash the area around the knife, the exposed knife surfaces, and the knife edge. Plug in the slicer and start it. Lift the sharpener handle until it's horizontal. Pull it fully forward and hold for 5 seconds. Slowly release it. If necessary, sharpen again for another 5 seconds. Then turn off the slicer and unplug it. Wipe it with a damp cloth to remove any grinding particles and replace the top knife cover. Lubricate the slicer by squirting 8 to 10 drops of Lubriplate FMO 200 AW oil, supplied with the slicer, into the wick hole on the carriage transport. Or, if you prefer, once a month apply 4 or 5 drops of oil directly onto the carriage slide rod on each side of the carriage transport. Then move the carriage back and forth a few times to spread the oil over the length of the rod. For further information on the Hobart Model 2712 slicer, check your instruction manual or contact your local Hobart office. With proper operation, cleaning, and maintenance, your Hobart Model 2712 slicer will provide many years of superior trouble-free performance.